91, this is DJ Logan Stewart coming at you on a Thursday. It is 7:05 right now. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, joined by the wonderful Connor and Jordan. Also, I didn't notice, Jordan, did you get a haircut?
I did not.
You didn't?
No.
You just wear a hat so often, I didn't see what your hair looked like.
I need a haircut, but...
Hey, it looks good
It looks
either
good.
way, bro.
Thank you.
Don't
Thank you.
sweat it. Anyway, that was Jordan. Connor?
It's good to be back. It's
Me-
been forever.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a week.
Yeah.
Almost. I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah, me and Connor actually saw each other earlier today. We're going to an event, but it was so windy I took off.
Yeah,
So.
up on the hill.
They had a little barbecue thing going, but every time SCU says barbecue, it just means hot dogs. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
That's fair.
right? Love our school. Got some good school
Yeah, but
spirit
they
going
need
on.
they need to go like all in for barbecue.
Exactly. You can't say barbecue and put a picture of a pig if you're just gonna be serving
Well,
Hot dogs and
the
buns.
hot dog does come from the pig.
You're right. It's the butthole and lips.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Anything that you can't normally eat and mark it, you make it into a hot dog.
Yeah.
Actually, don't know if we're allowed to say that on the air, but all right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're just gonna start off today. We have no particular artist that we're gonna be breaking down. We're open to requests. If you want to call in, number is 435-586-7975, and you can give us a call and request a song for us to play, and then we'll break it down. But for now, we're gonna play some of our favorite artists, and then talk about the specifics, or maybe not even like give insight, like that we've studied, but mostly just talk about it and talk about what it represents for the artist, and what it is as a song. Anyway, this is Just Like You by NF. Thanks for tuning in.
Just like you, I get up, I get
Forgot
down.
autumn was
and
on,
I'm
guys.
drunk.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Alright, we can break down both of them. That's fine. Sorry, dude. Thunder 91. There's millions of us just like you, and I hope you've turned in for a bang. This is DJ Logan Stewart with Connor Gentry and Jordan Hansen, and we're coming back at you, trying to break down some music and talk about it. We had two good songs, just barely. Just Like You by NF. I think we'll talk about that one, but then we also had Bang by AJR, which we just outroed with. Connor, how long have you been an NF fan?
I've been an NF fan since probably late 2015 or 2016. Yeah,
Bro,
so it's been a while.
Yeah, that's 7 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Tell me a little bit about his sound now versus his sound back then.
I feel like NF has grown a lot as an artist. I feel like, of course, first off, he was like exploring like musically. I mean, I think he knew what he wanted to talk about, like like his personal stuff. He still talks about that still now. That was just still similar. Like I feel like the instrumentals and like the music is different now, and like his music is really good at like making like movie type songs, like rap songs and like a movie like instrumental.
Right.
song.
Right, and even from like the music video of Wake Up, which was on either his first or second
It was
album.
his first album.
I think you're right. I think it was his first album, Mansion, wasn't it? Still one of my favorite NF songs, even as far as he's come. But he made a music video for that, and dude, he was like, I feel like I directed a movie, like
Yeah.
with the way the lyrics. I will say a lot of the time music videos, it's kind of like they had a really good song, and then they're like, hey, I have this weird idea for a 4-minute ad of me doing cool stuff with women. It's like that's their idea for it. But NF's vision for that one, it turned out really cool and really hit. Jordan, tell me a little bit about your experience with NF.
So, I haven't listened to him as long as you, Connor, but I don't know, probably I'd say at least maybe 2018 is when I first was like, yeah, this is pretty good stuff.
So when let you down?
Yes.
Let you down.
When he was coming on the radio, is that when you like first
yeah,
started?
basically, because I was hearing all this stuff and I'm like, who is this guy? And I looked him up. I'm like, oh, he's actually cool because I like rap, but I like clean rap.
Agreed.
And that's very hard to find.
Absolutely.
And his rap is clean, but it's also it's not cheesy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of like clean raps, but they're like not like it's not.
Like
a real
means
rap,
something.
you know?
Like
Yeah.
everyone can relate to like his messages he sends.
Right.
Yeah.
right? You have two ends of that, or two sides to that coin. You have Eminem on one side, you know,
Mhm.
fantastic rapper, and has changed the industry as a
Yeah.
whole.
Just cusses all the
But then
time.
he swears so much,
Yeah.
and parents can't get
Yeah.
behind it, and
Yeah.
you know, and then you have Froggy Fresh, who is clean, but
A little too clean.
it's too clean, and you're like, I can't listen to this, or else everyone's gonna make fun of me, and I'm gonna make fun of me, because what is this, you know? He's actually come a long way, no disrespect to Froggy Fresh, but you're right, he definitely threads that needle, and I think he does really well. He doesn't compromise his standards, and he doesn't compromise the music standard, right?
Yeah,
He
no,
still
not at
drops
all.
very fire beats. He
Yeah.
has really good, like with the lyrics that he spits on it. Yeah, I think when I got into NF, it was actually one of the camp counselors, like my director of a camp, and he was like, "Yo, there's this Christian rapper," because NF started as a Christian rapper,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then he worked his way into being, you know, he didn't like the title because he felt like it confined him. He just wanted to be a rapper, and then after that, he just wants to be him. You know, he just
Right.
wants to be Nate.
Yeah.
But I think this song, just like you, the one we just listened to, really hits on the head. He felt very alone. Like even one of his first songs before he made an album was called "Alone" with Tommy Prophet, and it's a really good song. Recommend checking it out. But it talks about how he struggled with feeling lonely his entire life, you know, and Let You Down, the music video, we get to see the strained relationship he has with his dad. His mom's not there because she
Yeah.
overdosed. Kind of a
Mhm.
tragic backstory, you know. But this one, I think I would say, you talked a little bit about how his music has changed. One thing I would say is he sounds confident,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
It's not that he was insecure back in the day. I mean, he still has insecurities, but he thrives on them.
Right. Right.
I would say he's very secure in the way his music sounds and what he's giving out,
Mhm.
that he's willing to, you know, run with it a little bit more and create something like this, and I love it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, NF, Nate Firestein. Isn't that such a cool name?
Yeah.
It really is.
He's great. But we're gonna do a quick switch and talk about Bang for a second. Have you guys seen the what's it called? One Spectacular Night live stream,
I have
I have
not.
or
not.
at least clips? Okay, there's
No.
a video I'll have to show you afterwards. But basically, it shows how they made this song, and it's fantastic. You know, like I think it's beautiful seeing the end result and how fantastic it is. But there's also so much beauty in just watching them create and seeing the light go off in their head, you know. For this one, they heard a knock at the door.
Huh.
Somebody knocked, and they didn't care who was at the door. They were just like, I like that sound. So they used it, and they pitched it up, and had some snares, and they pitched it down, and had some hi-hats, or some, you know, some tom drums.
Yeah.
Anyway, used that to lay a beat, and then, after the rest of the mixing magic, you know the voice in it? And it goes,
Mhm.
here we go.
Yeah.
They heard that guy's voice on a subway train in
Whoa.
New York.
Wow.
And they heard it, and they were like, I wonder if we could get his voice in our song. Turned out he was a fan. They reached out to him, and he gave them more voice samples than they were expecting.
Wow.
So that's why they have the metronome and the, not just the here we go, but the here we go, you know?
Here we go.
Yes, that one. There you go. That's
Here we
the
go.
perfect- Here we go. Anyway, it's just so cool, and I think we'll talk about it more as the hour goes on, of just using regular things and incorporating them into your creation process, right?
Mhm.
Like all they heard was a knock on the door. They have another song, what was inspired by them playing Wii tennis, inspired by them dropping their keys. That was it, you know?
Mhm.
So inspiration can come from the most random things, and hopefully we might be able to offer you some of that, you know, just so you can spice up the mundane a little bit. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back after maybe a song or two, but due to Connor's request, here's some John Bellion.
Oh yeah.
No opposition, Thunder 91. Thunder 91, that was All Time Low by John Bellion and Travis Mendez. John Bellion tries to incorporate a lot of his friends that he's bringing with him, trying to propel them to stardom as well. In some of his other songs, he has Black Keys, which is one of my favorite rappers. He's so good. He's in Weight of the World. He's in Preoccupied, which are both songs by John Bellion. He has his own albums. My favorite single of his is called Babylon. I recommend checking them out. But back to John. That was John Bellion, and in the making of that song, John was I think he was just at an Airbnb, or he was just on tour with some of his friends, and he worked backwards with that song. He started with the idea of low, right?
Oh, wow.
And he just worked backwards from there. So he started with the low, 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 and he just trying to mumble his way through it, and he's just trying to get his creative juices flowing, and then all of a sudden he got the low, 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 low. So he had that, and he's like, okay, so that's gonna be my chorus. Now what do I work around that, And he drew from inspiration from Billy Joel. He drew, you can tell that in the lyrics. Obviously he used Kanye, which is, whatever your opinion of him, he's a fantastic MC. He's really good at that whole thing. But yeah, that was All Time Low, John Bellion. Connor, Jordan, you guys have any thoughts?
It was just a great song. Great artist. My favorite all-time song from him is what's it called? I forgot what it's
Is it
called.
Guillotine?
No.
No, is it From Human Condition?
I think so.
From the album?
Run Wild.
Oh, dude, that's from
Run Wild's my favorite.
Love that song, bro.
Yeah.
We should play that.
Yeah.
Soon. Jordan?
So the little, I don't know what you're supposed to call it, the little riff, the little what you were doing.
That melody.
That is the kind of thing that gets stuck in your head forever.
Yeah.
And you don't know why
Right.
or where it's from. Yeah.
And even you can hear the song once, and all of a sudden that earworm is just there, and you're like, na 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 na. And I think that's why he makes it that way, because he just mumbles it until it's like something he'd want to hum along with, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
John Bellion in Run Wild, you hear the oh whoa now you wanna run. He's fantastic at incorporating his voice as instruments, and there's even a 20-minute video on YouTube explaining how he does that. He does that in lots of his songs. He uses him and Ryan Carveo, which is another artist that we're gonna bring up in a minute. They both have songs that sound like they have weird breathing in them. Yeah. Maybe I Don't Know starts with whoa whoa whoa. I can't even make it, But Ryan has a song like that too. We'll be showing more of him. He's another really good one. I hate some emotional strings, but we're actually gonna bring some Nickelback on. I'm gonna be honest, I don't listen to much of Nickelback.
I don't either. No.
Yeah, this is recommended by my Aunt Sandra. Shout out to Sandra and Alex. Thanks so much for tuning in. We haven't heard this song, so we'll probably maybe play a review afterwards and say what we were thinking, but she says it fits the theme. And this song is called Savin' Me. So thanks for tuning in. This is Savin' Me. That was Savin' Me by Nickelback. I really like that song.
I did too.
It's good.
Connor, who were you comparing him to? Or you said people compared them to in the 2000s.
Oh, Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, I didn't really see that. Maybe it depends on the song.
Well, I saw some YouTube video of this guy who's not a big fan of Nickelback or Imagine Dragons, and he compared the two because he just doesn't like them.
That's okay. So it's all negative. I can understand the hate for both of them, but at the same time, I don't think it's warranted. I can see where they're coming from, but they're both talented people or talented bands, and then maybe we're in the spotlight, maybe longer than they should have been.
Yeah.
Because I think Imagine Dragons still makes good stuff. I don't think it's as good as their old stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that song sounded more Linkin Park-ish.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think Nickelback came slightly before. I'm not sure.
I think they did.
But I really love some Linkin Park. So what should we do? Should we do some Imagine Dragons and Linkin Park next?
Let's do Imagine Dragon first.
Okay.
Then Linkin Park.
Okay, sounds perfect. Yeah, add a little soft one in between and then build back up. Hey, thanks Sandra and Alex for that recommendation. It's Thunder 91 and this is Follow You by Imagine Dragons. to Imagine Dragons. That's a pretty pop, surface level song. When I first heard it, I kind of just assumed, this is where Imagine Dragons is going. This isn't necessarily a bad thing with 21 Pilots having their more pop-oriented album. I was okay with that.
Yeah.
I kind of like what they originally stood for, but they were alternative pop back in the day too. But this song was actually way deeper than I expected. I know the context for this song because in one of our classes for Com 1560, there was a podcast called Song Exploder, and it's really cool. They deep dive and they have the artists really do most of the deep diving into their own songs. And the context for this one is that you guys know how Dan Reynolds is from Utah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Former LDS.
I think he served a mission too.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he grew up in the faith, and then I guess his passion for music overtook his passion for gospel. That's a whole different thing, Brendan Urie, same thing happened.
Yeah.
But, getting off subject, this song is about his wife, right? And the context for this is he opened up on this podcast and said, we went to our divorce lawyer and we were getting ready to sign papers, and then we just looked over at each other and just started bawling, and decided we're not going to do this. And he said it was almost like I took her out on a first date again. And
Wow.
We went afterwards, and we went and got some ice cream and just talked and said maybe let's just start dating again. They're trying to find that magic again. And this is one of their more stripped down songs. I know it does have a lot of electronic sounds, but that's kind of the burden of the beast with Imagine Dragons. But
That's true.
this one is kind of more stripped down. He didn't do it in the studio. He had like a home studio. He just sang it into his microphone. And this is kind of an ode to his wife, saying, thanks for putting up with my crap, honey. Like, you are the light of my life, and I'll follow you way down wherever you may go. He's talking like, you have been there for me every time, and I love you, and I'm sorry I haven't showed that, but here's how I feel, and here's what I mean, And I think that's a really tender thing to do, Even like, I listen to a lot of sad, like romance songs. Most of the time it's like, what's that one kid's name? The kid Leroy. And the kid's like hasn't even broke 20 yet. I think he's still a teenager, and he's like, love is stupid. I'm like, yeah, but you're young and stupid, like. Which so am I. That's the music I make, but whatever. But this is more of a mature one. This is very much a grown man with a family and a beautiful wife, and then he's coming to terms with, I need to make this work. I have to make this work, and I think that's really, really honorable.
Well, and I think it shows that he's serious about it if he's gonna make a song about it and release it.
Right.
Right.
That's what putting his heart on his sleeve and then saying, like, guys, look, this is like a testament, huh?
Yeah.
Great point. Yeah, go ahead.
Have you guys seen the music video for Follow You?
I haven't.
It's like it like doesn't even like belong in like the story context what you were just saying. They're just singing, and like this girl's like walking up with like her boyfriend or whatever, and she's like, my favorite band, Imagine Dragons, like I have a crush on Dan Reynolds, and then they come out singing with like their shirts off, and it's like so random.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, even Imagine Dragons can make some that like hit it on its head and match the tone, but most artists are just like, here's our cool song, and let's put whatever we want. Like, it doesn't have to match at all. Let's just throw it on. I will say, Radioactive's music video
Oh yeah, I've seen
is
that.
imprinted in my brain.
That's
Like,
good.
I can never forget that. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
But at the same time, yes, like that is exactly what I needed to see. I needed to see a little pink stuffed animal take on the monster purple stuffed animal. Like, that's what I needed to see. I don't know why. I don't know why I needed to see that, but that's.
It's almost like somebody had a dream about that, and they're like, let's make this the video.
That's a great point. Someone's like listening to Radioactive, and then like.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, literally.
Could you imagine?
Yo, hear me out, guys. What if there was a cartel? And yeah, okay. And they fought, and we had a whole bunch of people gambling on it. The person's like, That's a really good idea, bro. Let's do that. Let's do that. You know, Connor, take it away.
Yeah, could you imagine like putting like the worst dream that you've ever had, or like one of the memorable dreams that you've ever had, and put it in like a music video, like for one of your songs? Like,
That'd
could you
be-
imagine?
What dream,
crazy.
bro? Some
Like-
of these dreams, bro. I remember I like woke up the other day screaming.
Oh my
Like I
god.
roll over, like ah! Oh, okay. I'm still in bed. I'm alive. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay, you know.
Yeah, like I had a dream recently where like I got married to someone. I don't know who it was.
That could be a good dream. Just make that reality, bro. If she's a baddie? If she's, I mean, if you can't remember her, maybe not. You
I mean,
know?
I think it was a fake I don't know who it
You
was.
were marrying a fake woman.
Arranged
Connor.
marriage.
You know that can't
I don't
work
know
out
who it
long
was.
term. What does Taylor Swift say? Boys only want love, it's torture. They can't torture you.
Yeah.
They're just a mannequin.
Oh,
Man, we're
gosh. I
treading
don't-
a fine line of weird, aren't
I don't know where that's
Little
going.
Anyway, at least we can feel something, you know?
Right.
Unlike this next song. Is that a
This
good transition?
Numb.
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
By Linkin Park. Take it away, Chester.
All right, guys. So rest in peace, Chester Bennington. But I remember, like a month, or when he passed away, like a month before I served in my LDS mission, is when he passed away in like late July of 2017. All I was listening to for like the final month before my mission was Linkin Park, and it's great stuff. Like I was a fan of them before he passed away, but I didn't like follow like everything they did, you know. But and then like after he passed away, I was like really more like interested in Linkin Park and like the
Right.
music that they made.
Right. Yeah. Rest in peace. We love Chester. We love his voice. We love the energy he brings. And
Yeah.
it's interesting to look back and see some parallels between bands. We had first we had Kurt Cobain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure which came first, Kurt Cobain or Robin Williams, but Kurt Cobain starts the music one, right?
Right.
Kurt Cobain passed away, and that was Nirvana, right?
Mm-hmm.
And left a huge hole in society's heart, and may he rest in peace as well. And then came, I think it was David Grohl, which
Yeah.
was the original drummer.
I think he was.
Drummer or bassist? I think he was the drummer.
Drummer.
David Grohl was the drummer for Nirvana. And then after a couple of years, I think, of not being able to create music because it was just so painful to just be reminded of his friend that he lost, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You finally realize, you know, this is what I was born to do. This is what I need to do to creatively outlet it. So then David Grohl went on and made the band Foo Fighters.
Yes.
And I think it was his first album in Foo Fighters. He actually was the vocals on it,
Okay.
which wasn't as great because he was not the lead singer and obviously can't hold a candle to Kurt. But he ended up going on and still making some great stuff. And fast forward, Chester Bennington passes away, and then his right-hand man, what's his name? I can't think of it right now. It'll come back to me, but it's
The rap guy.
yeah, the guy that does the rap.
Yeah.
I can't think
What's
of
his
it.
name?
I love him. He made the band
Yeah, the other band. What's it called?
I can't remember.
Fort Minor is
Yeah.
the band. It's called Fort Minor. He made the album Rising Tide. But I can't think of his name, and that's gonna kill me. Anyway, we'll think of it and we'll get back to him. He's like some Oriental guy. Like he's got some Asian ancestry, and he has a song that talks about like how Japanese were treated in World War II. It's called Kenji, but I can't think of his name. Okay, we'll get back to you on that. But I'm sure you've heard. Dude, you know what's so ironic?
Huh.
His number one song is called "Remember the Name."
Oh.
Is it? Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
You know the
10%
Look,
luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated
Yes.
power of will.
that's Fort Minor,
No way.
but I can't think of his name. I can't remember. This is so ironic.
It's
'cause
the Fort,
everyone's
the Fort Minor guy.
exactly everyone's heard that song, but no one can remember
Look
his
it up.
name. You know, we'll figure it
No,
out.
that's his name.
I
You
think
know what kind of scares me though, and
Mm.
I think I hope we never see it, is the parallels between 21 Pilots in these previous bands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, 21 Pilots took heavy inspiration from both bands,
Oh,
Nirvana,
yeah.
and Linkin Park.
I was thinking like I wonder if you know the song Neon
I
Gravestones.
was just gonna go there.
So
Go for
I
it.
wonder if Tyler was talking a little. I wonder if like Chester's death had a little bit to do with that songwriting process.
Oh, I'm sure, because he talks about,
It almost sounds like a Linkin Park song too, a little bit, kind of.
definitely more toned back. Most of Chester's vocals are very like
Heavy.
in your face and
Yeah.
like scream, and obviously Tyler has some like that too. But yeah, Gravestones is kind of much more of like a subtle somber because that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
it is. That's the
Yeah.
topic, right?
Yeah.
It's talking about I'll mourn for a kid but won't cry for a king.
Right.
You know, he's talking about like you have people that are that high, and he's not disrespecting them, but he's also saying don't give them too much attention and credit because they've done that.
Yeah.
Which I guess we're kind of failing the
Mhm.
point right there, you know, because we're talking about them. But I still think it's worth talking about because Torn Pilots, Tyler Joseph says, you know, if I lose to myself, don't mourn for a day and move on to someone else, which is kind of like I wouldn't say self-pitying, but more like the opposite of self-aggrandizement, you know, he's just like,
Yeah.
hurry and move on past me and go to the next person, which no one's gonna do that, right?
No,
Right.
no.
I think he recognizes that, but he's also saying, don't make me a martyrdom. Like, when people fantasize about suicide or stuff like that, they often think about Robin Williams or Kurt Cobain or, heck, a lot of stars have passed away like that.
Right.
Well, and I think maybe he's going for like dramatic lyrics, if you know what I mean. Like he could be like kind of like what you were saying, like that is actually how he feels, but maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I would like to know.
I think you're right with the dramatic part. I think he means them, but I also think he's trying to inflate it to be like, you can't forget this, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Don't forget the message is stay alive, friends, respect your elders because they survived these hard times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have any of you guys heard "Heavy" by Linkin Park? It's on their last album, One More Light.
I'm sure I have.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm sure I've heard it too.
Yeah,
but
because in that song's deep. Like Chester's talking about like how he doesn't like really like himself right now and like thinking of like ending. And that was just a few months before he actually did. So
I'm sure.
I would recommend like listening to that song like
Right.
later on. It's deep.
Before we started doing specific artist dives, every air chef I would play All Apologies by Nirvana,
Yeah.
which I would view as probably similar to
Oh,
Heavy,
yeah.
and it's like his goodbye song almost, you know.
Mhm.
I love this song, and it's a good reminder of, you know, what happened, the tragedy, and the reason that we keep going. You know?
Right. Right.
That pain doesn't go away when you're gone; it just gets transferred to other people and
Right.
intensifies.
Mhm.
So
It's like a disease.
yeah, it really is. And reach out, guys. I know that was a pretty somber topic, and I didn't expect it to go this way,
No.
you know. But
It's important to
maybe
talk
that's
about though.
that's like life. You don't expect it to go one way, and then you're down a rabbit hole, and sometimes you can't find your way back. So
Right.
reach out. We love you. We're thankful you're here. We're coming towards the end of the hour, but we're gonna play a couple more songs. This one's Third Eye Blind, and I think this is a good tone to follow this discussion. How's it gonna be? Third Eye Blind, Thunder 91. Thanks for tuning in.
Floating in my spaceship, the view out the window looks basic, a colorful oasis. I'm low on rocket fuel and I don't wanna waste it. Out in the bones, but the world might never know.
Thunder 91. That was Ryan Caraveo. My Head Gets Loud. Probably my favorite song by him, but I mean he's got a lot of good ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Connor, I just introduced Connor to him, and his favorite is.
Nutcase.
I recommend checking that one out. It's really good. That song actually is not a direct inspiration, but really helped me write Unreachable
Oh, nice.
with the space-oriented I don't want to sound like I copied him, but you know, the space oriented, the soft sounding, that really spoke to me, and because of that, I really wanted to make something similar.
Wow.
His message was definitely more of a, you know, my head gets loud, obviously, right? But it's more of a tuning out those voices and still succeeding. While mine is, come on, girl, like, we could have made it work. We could have done better.
No, I can definitely see there's a little correlation between your song
Oh,
and
yeah.
this, but
Right.
they're also very different songs at the same
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm glad you guys see that too. Thunder 91, this has been DJ Logan Stewart with Connor Gentry and Jordan Hansen. We are so glad that you guys tune in and listen to us. Like Connor pointed out, we have a great ability through this medium to talk about, you know, honestly whatever we want.
Right.
We dink around a lot of the time and just joke and have a good one, but we can also, you know, talk about heavier subjects, and we can address things that are actually important, and we love that, and we hope that you enjoy it just as much as us. Thanks for tuning in. Anything else you guys want to say before we lead out?
Listen next week.
Yeah, come back next week. We'll be back. Also, Most Fun Friday tomorrow. Come out. I'll be at the hot air balloon activity in the morning.
There you go. Connor's gonna be the man there, so come check us out for Most Fun Friday. This is the song that I was telling you guys about earlier. This is the classic, the DJ Logan Stewart leading out song, and well, without further ado.